This is part 3 of my recreation project. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2 yet, I have linked them in the description. It would be great if you could drop there and check it out. So for this video, I made a saving mechanism to save the player's progress to a text file. The text file would contain the player's name, health, and other stats like the player's inventory. I also had to format in a way that would make it possible to read all the information from the file. Check out part 2 to see how I made the file reader and how I read all the data from the file. I used a file writer object and it is pretty self-explanatory. Every time the file saves, it would overwrite all the data in the file with the current stats. I could call it every time the game is saved, or like every time the player beats a crucial boss, receives an item, or something like that. I thought it would take a while to complete the file reader because it was the first time for me doing this in Java, but it was pretty easy and I had time to get working on other elements of the game. And here's the time lapse of all the code I wrote to create the file saver. I thought the next proper place to start would be the main menu. The main menu is the first thing the player would see upon booting the game, so it has to be straightforward. I gave the player 3 options to choose from. They could start a fight, look at their inventory, or they could quit. I do plan on expanding the menu when I can think of more things to add to it, but for now it seemed like a good place to start. After I was done with that, I moved on to making the inventory. The basic idea was to show all the players' gear and their respective stats. Then I would let the player equip the item by typing its name into the console. I had some trouble here and there. I had to figure out what exactly I would output. For example, would I ask the player whether they want to see all their armors or weapons, or would I just display all the players' items at the same time? I decided on the latter because it takes away one extra bit of input the player has to give, and I just like doing it that way. That was all I did for this video. Part 4 will be coming out soon because I already have the footage for it. I just have to put it all together. Thanks for watching, and here's the rest of the time lapse.